like to share this article which was published in 2024 December. Clean Technologies, I think he's a father and he wants to warn the parents about the EMF exposure at schools, scientific facts, and wake-up call for parents. Literally, the author is trying to explain the potential health risks for the children from electromagnetic exposure at schools, and he advised parents or authorities to take some actions to protect the children. Now, children are more vulnerable when it comes to EMF radiation, and the reasons can be summarized. One, their brains and bodies are still developing, and we know any harmful thing for the body at that stage brings more impactful and long-term damages. And the other reason is their skull is thinner and the radiation can easily penetrate to their brains. Their brain's water content is more than adult's brain, and the damages are happening in the water molecules level, and that's why they have more mental issues in the long term, learning disabilities and so forth. And their blood-brain barrier is not completely developed, so brain doesn't get protection from that barrier. The other thing is their body size is smaller. Same amount of EMF radiation covers more cells, more tissues on their body comparing the adult size bodies. The effects of EMF on the children are documented with many publications. It starts from cancer risks, especially low-level EMFs or magnetic fields are leading to leukemia in the childhood age, and that was documented with many publications. Autism, again, there's a strong link if the kids are exposed to high-level EMF intrauterine life and also in their first couple years of life. It's very common. Obesity and asthma, behavioral problems, cognitive function disorders, ADHD, they are all linked to EMF exposure in the childhood age. The kids these days are getting more exposure at the schools because they spend long hours at the schools, and schools are donated with wireless devices, electrical devices, and sometimes they are very close to cell phone towers or high voltage poles. Those are all important factors for the school environment and for the kids' exposure for long hours. So it shows kids under 20 years of age, when they get too much exposure, the harm is long term. So protecting them from the exposure and taking some precautions against electromagnetic radiation or devices usage is very important. And he summarized as to apply ALARA concept, which is as low as reasonably issuable principle for the EMF dose, educating young kids for using the technology responsibly, keeping the devices in distance, and cutting the time for their exposure, and running some campaigns to increase the awareness among children, but most importantly among parents and educators. And the standards from the governments are very old. They are not updated with today's modern environment. It should be updated, and maybe the standards should be, like for the permissible dose, should be cut lower, and new software and hardware developments for the less exposure should be considered for the protection of the kids.